Good morning, good morning. It's a bit chilly outside, which is nice.
Good morning.
Mm.
I would love to hear from folks. What's your favorite fall treat? What do you look forward to with the fall? And it doesn't have to be food or drink, it could be something else, but something you consider a treat. I have noticed that most people in the Central Valley cite fall as their favorite season. Not all, of course, but many, many do. And I think it has something to do with our summers, although this summer was pretty mild in comparison to most. But feel free to come off of mute or share in the chat. Ooh, shepherd's pie. Mm-mm. Pumpkin cream cheese muffin. And where do you buy this muffin, Nellie? Do you make them? Pumpkin pie. Okay, lots of pumpkin. Farm fresh apple cider. Yummy. Pomegranates are coming in. Starbucks, of course, for the muffin. I had this thing at Starbucks the other day that I think is also new to their menu. It was small, so it wasn't like outrageous number of calories, and it was kind of like a croissant, but with apples in the middle, but it was shaped like a muffin. Mm. That was worth every calorie. It was delicious. Hot chocolate, squirty cream. Do you also call it squidgy cream? Because my friend from Scotland used to call it squidgy cream.
Some of my friends from Scotland say squidgy cream too, but we say squirty cream. But yeah, it's the same thing.
It's a lot more fun to say than whipped cream. Okay, Carl's going for something that is not food. Fall fishing. Oh, how big was the bass you caught? Was it this big? No, you don't have a fish tail to tell us of how big your bass was last year. Pumpkin cream cheese. I would say that the thing I always associate with fall has begun is pumpkin cream cheese at Uncle Harry's, which I really love. Cooler mornings for soccer. Yeah, lots of wet grass. Calm after the storm of harvest. That's lovely. Did you guys see the moon last night and the night before? It was stunning. They were each kind of harvest moons, but last night it was really, really bright and smaller, and the night before was more muted and a lot of orange. It was both of them very, very pretty. Emmy's Sidewalk Cafe here in Madera is where you get pumpkin cream cheese muffins. Where's Emmy's Sidewalk Cafe?
It's right here off the Schnorr, kind of by the tap house.
Okay,
It's really, really good.
nice. Seeing the leaves change on the trees, love it. We have a street next to my house that has a bunch of ginkgo trees. Those are the trees that tend to be fairly small, although I saw one in, where were we? Portugal, that was just huge. But they're the ones that have the leaves that look like fans. They're shaped kind of like this, but narrower at the bottom. And they turn this bright, bright golden yellow. And there's a street near my house where it's just lined with ginkgo trees. And that is my most favorite. They're stunning. I've decided there's the biggest of them on that street. Every time I pass it coming from a certain direction, I'm taking pictures of it each day to kind of get a progression of it going from green into that bright yellow. Colder mornings, jackets and sweaters, football. Give me an emoji if you love football. You'll forgive me if I'm coughing a bit and my voice sounds funny. I feel fine. It's just the thing that will not let go of the cold that I got a few weeks back. Oh, okay. So there's different kinds of football being celebrated. Renee, I think I need to hear more about your mom's. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I need to hear about the pronunciation. I need to hear a description of what it is.
So it's pronounced hojarascas.
Okay.
So it's these cookies that she makes around this time of the year. So it's normally traditionally we call them galletas de boda. Yeah, in the region that we're from, but we also traditionally use them around fall. It's more of a fall treat. It's more of a because it's kind of like cinnamony and sugary. So we traditionally use them around Christmas time and Thanksgiving.
Is it a cookie that has anise in it?
I'm sorry, could
Do
you
you know
say
what
again?
anise? It's a
Like star
spice that
anise?
has kind of like a licorice flavor to it. Does that sound right?
No, no,
Okay.
it's just a little bit. I know which ones you're talking about. It's just it varies by region.
Okay.
So we're from the northern region of Mexico. So we kind
Mhm.
of have like a Tex-Mex thing. So it might be the same cookie, it just changes by region.
So my son's grandmother, they are Castilian Spanish, and she used to make what they called bizcochitos, and those were a sugar and cinnamon cookie they were real crisp, but it had anise in it, so it had this very like faint kind of. I don't actually like black licorice very much, but it was so faint that it added just a complexity to the cookie. It was delicious. Oh yeah, a recipe would be nice, Renee. Do you have your mother's recipe? Maybe.
I believe that's a trade secret, but I can
Oh
ask for sure.
no.
I,
Okay,
I I
somebody
normally
look up
just eat
a
them.
recipe. Online, there's got to be one from somebody's mother. All right. Thanks for indulging me with all of your fall treats. Feel free to continue sharing. In the meantime, I'm going to, oh, excuse me. I'm trying to juggle screens here. We have a new member of our team who's joining us, who's working in clinic as a public health nurse. Jasmine, welcome to the team. We're so glad to have you. If you are on, it would be great to get a wave. We don't have a staff picture of you yet to put on the PowerPoint, but we'd love to see your face. Welcome. There she is. Hi, Jasmine. Nice to meet you through the screen.
Nice to meet everyone.
And then we are saying goodbye to Miss Emma in CMS. We wish you well. Her last day is the 20th, so there's a bit of time for you to reach out to Emma and wish her well. And there are a couple updates with regards to program assignments we wanted to let you know about. It's basically a switch. Ariana Amazilla is going to be moving from community wellness. That's what CW stands for. Moving from community wellness to EPIC, which is emergency preparedness, partnerships, improvement and accreditation, and communications. She is going to be leading our communications unit. And Maricela Turkelson is going to be moving from EPIC into community wellness and leading our oral health program. So that has already happened. There was a transition in place that lasted a couple months, and so now that transition's complete. And these ladies are leading in different places. We have a few birthdays that are happening, so help me wish a happy birthday to Osana on the 9th. Ooh, that's today. And Monica Toller, happy birthday, ladies. You happen to have well wishes from all of your colleagues on the actual birthday. We hope you have a great day today. Melody, our Deputy Director, Clinical Nursing Services. Happy birthday, Mel, on the 14th of this month. And then Irene Torres, happy birthday on the 16th. We wish you all fall babies excellent birthdays. And then now I'm going to stop sharing because the rest of what we're doing doesn't really require slides. So give me 1 second as I kind of juggle things around here. Who do we have to provide us with some Culture Club announcements?
Good morning, everyone. So announcements for this month. We're going to have a spooky basket raffle. We'll be announcing it later today. Later tomorrow, I mean tomorrow. We're finalizing with all the donations. So thank you to everyone who has donated. We were thinking we were only going to have 1 basket, but because of donations, we were able to do 2 baskets. So again, thank you so much. As you know, the tickets will be $1 each or 5 for 6 tickets. You can get the tickets from your Culture Club person who's a representative. You can also get them at Gateway where I will be at. The baskets are there, so if you really want to see how they look in person, you can come and stop by at Gateway. The raffle drawing will be October 31st at 12 p.m. And then we're also gonna have a costume contest. So you'll take a picture and you'll post it on the team's all staff teams chat on October 31st. I just want to let everyone know that your costumes must pass the child test. They should not be too revealing, scary, or gory. So just make sure they're appropriate. And encourage folks to like or heart your picture. And then at the end of like around 4:45, we'll see who has the most likes, and that will be the winner. We're also going to have a pumpkin painting contest. Same thing, take a picture of your pumpkin, post it on the all staff group chat by October 31st, and then the one with the most likes will be the one who wins. So those are the 3 things that are coming up this month. Just want to let everyone know that yesterday the Culture Club did meet to start planning for the end of the holiday potluck. So there's things coming up with that, and then that's what we have so far.
Thank you, Clarissa. Appreciate you all, Culture Club, and all the work that you do to keep us connected. And that we have maybe a date in which we can have staff return to the 2nd floor. And I'm not going to make any guarantees that that date might not change, but I'm going to pass it off to Brenda to give us a construction update.
Good morning. And let's see. Good morning, everyone. Are you able to see my screen?
No, not yet.
Oh, I should click share. Perfect. Okay, so for construction, our tentative kind of move-in date is looking like mid-November. We are starting to talk about furniture installation and the last touches for 2nd floor. For 2nd floor, the last things that need to be done is completion of the data lines installation, remainder of the painting, ductwork, flooring and base, and also there's pending the hardware and the doors. So here are some pictures, what it's starting to look like. I know email went out about 2 weeks ago about moving some stuff in the shared storage room. So those walls finally went up. And it's taking a while to load, but when you guys have a minute, feel free to come onto our construction page. Oh, there we go. So this is Oz room right now. So there's some ceiling tiles missing because they are working on installing some speakers to have the projector and the TV on the side, and towards the back, We will have the skyfold, the divider that's coming down from the ceiling, so that still needs to be installed. You'll also notice that in what used to be Wizard now has a yellow wall, so that some of the painting changes. The new cubicle space that is towards the back of second floor where MCAH storage used to be now has walls and paint on it. This is a view from the two MCAH storage. It's now 2 offices, and you can see our yellow walls. The coffee bar, there's now blue instead of the red that we used to have. And our break room now has some color in it. You have some green to match the chairs. Our admin section also has some blue touch to it. And then on our first floor, so on the first floor, they are actually already adding sheetrock to it, which this comes prior to doing paint. They're making a lot of progress on it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for construction. You'll be hearing a lot more updates soon in regards to moving in and what the plan is going to be. For operations wise, we're hoping to do on second floor based on program, moving in sections just to assist with Martha and setting up the workstations and collecting telework agreements for the individuals that will be on site. That's all I have. Thank you. Any questions? Awesome.
Okay, thanks Brenda for the update. I am gonna throw out a specific date for what we are trying to get to, if there are no hiccups. There are a couple different things, just so you have an understanding of why these delays have happened. It turned out that the electrical had some real issues in terms, not that it wasn't functioning or not that it was dangerous in any way, but it just was mislabeled. And so then trying to figure out what was what became really complicated to try and make any updates. And so the original electrician and engineer had to come back in and figure it out and create that map and address some of the routes that were used in terms of electrical and redo those. And then that is almost finalized. And then once that's finalized, they're going to be able to do a whole bunch of different things much faster. The second thing that has been a real delay is that there were a lot of materials that were used in our building that have been discontinued. Either because they substituted for what was originally in the plan and we had to figure out what that source was, and then it turned out that it was like one batch and that's all there was, or there was a very specific color. For instance, our door frames had a very specific color that it took a special order to be able to get so that everything would still match. And so that's honestly the two things, the electrical and the door frames and those windows, because of the color of the metal that was used, that's been on special order. And so that's, if that comes late, then this date would have to change again. But based on where it's tracking in terms of the shipment right now, and the installation of those items on the second floor, which of course for offices and things like that, we have to have the door frames in before people can really move in and the furniture can be moved in. So we're looking at November 12th. It is a Wednesday. That's kind of odd that it would be a Wednesday, except that Veterans Day happens to be on the 11th on that Tuesday. So it didn't make sense for us to all like reconvene back in the building on a Monday and then turn around and have a holiday. So we're giving the construction folks that one extra day to try and really get it sorted, to get the furniture in. And so mark your calendars for November 12th, and we will give you an update if there are any things that need to happen. I also wanted to let you know, that we have determined names for the conference rooms. We went through all of the suggestions that happened in our all staff meeting, and there were a lot of really great ideas. Many of them were not going to work because they included like locations that were outside of Madera. Maybe they were in Fresno County, maybe they were in Mariposa County. We eliminated those as options. There were things in which the theme was great, but we couldn't find enough items in that to be able to do it. And to really ensure that was something that was Madera centric as well as department centric. It really did narrow down the options. And so we had conversations about it in our management team. And ultimately, we've gone with using our values as the thing to be able to name our conference rooms and spaces. And so here's how it lines up. We are starting with Oz, converting from Oz to the Opportunity Meeting Center. And we're not going to call it a conference room, we're going to call it a meeting center, because we're wanting to give the connotation to our partners that it's available and that really functions more as a meeting center, because we do have those two spaces with the divider to be able to use, and we have a full kitchen for people to be able to have full meetings with a caterer if they need to. And then what would be, was Wizard, it currently is, but was Wizard, that annex to the Opportunity Meeting Center is going to be the Integrity Conference Space. And then also upstairs, Emerald City, which is kind of that conference room that is close to that middle space of the, it kind of sandwiches between that middle area on the second floor and where leadership is located. That's going to be our honor conference room. Downstairs, we have the first floor conference room, which you'll remember we used to have Kansas City. It was kind of in the middle. The new floor plan has the conference room on the first floor, not far from where Dr. Paul's office was. If you remember where Dr. Paul's office is, that has opened up into a big long hallway, and we're going to have a conference room on that first floor. It's going to be much easier for partners to get to, and it's going to be kind of a bit of a showcase conference room. There's going to be some wallpaper with pattern and a glass wall of windows, and the windows out to the outside are going to look at like lovely trees that turn yellow. They're going to be turning yellow soon. And so we're calling that our collaboration conference room because it will be used with partners on a regular basis. Then we're going to have also on the first floor a larger space that's really going to be for staff to be able to take breaks, access that outdoor patio space directly from the building. You won't have to go around anymore. And it's going to be much larger, and there's going to be a galley kitchen right there in that space. And we're going to call that the Innovation Lounge. So not a collaboration space like we used to call those spaces around the office, but the Innovation Lounge is where all of us can be able to gather with one another. And there's a space upstairs where there's some couches too. But that one is going to be more private for staff to be able to have breaks, have lunch, take personal phone calls, drink that hot chocolate in the fall, but also maybe have some conversations around what if, I wonder, from our connected worldview. So our Innovation Lounge is going to be there. And then we're going to pull in our fifth value by naming our main lobby, the lobby that is now going to serve both our clinic and WIC programs, as well as basically anyone from the public who's coming in. That is going to be our service lobby. For obvious reasons, that's where we're going to be providing services and really interfacing with the public. So I'll drop those into the chat so you can see them. I'm really excited about how we are going to be transforming into a facelift with our building and a different kind of way of referring to the spaces that we use. And our goal is to also incorporate some art into those spaces and really highlight the values in those spaces. So that was another factor in the consideration of how we ended up naming, is we actually would have an opportunity in those spaces to bring in art, to bring in the definitions of those different values into those spaces so that we see them on a regular basis, but it's really demonstrated to the other folks that come in, hey, these are the things that we're about. This is how we want to show up, and we want to be experienced on a regular basis in our department. So hopefully you're excited about the direction of this. And if you have, do we have any artists in the department? Because I would be really excited if we could feature art from the community and maybe from some of our staff. And so I hope this gets your wheels turning about, maybe one of these values, there's a way in which you as an artist, if you are one, and all of us have creativity of some kind or another, might be able to put together something. And so, oh yeah, Gracie is very artistic. Somebody just told you. Stick figure drawing, excellent. But also, if you know of a community member that is an artist, maybe we put together a bit of, a process of pulling together artists and giving them these themes and see what they come up with. I would just love to see art featured in these rooms that really exhibit innovation and honor and collaboration and service, so that our values kind of come to life on the walls and in that space. Any questions before I move on? Let's see, where did my agenda go? There it is. What kind of art? Paint, clay, paper, crochet. Ooh, we are getting in all kinds of creativity. I love it. I don't think we should put any limits on it. It obviously needs to be able to be in this space. And so if it's conference room, there's probably not going to be lots of space for a big sculpture, but maybe something that's small that sits on a desk or something. We wouldn't want it to be knocked over or something like that either. So we need to think carefully, but I think there are certain kinds of things that can even if it's not a painting or a drawing, it could be mounted. I happen to have a quilt in my office that's on the wall that my sister made. So there are lots of options about art. Let's not limit. The bank EECU has art from local high school students. Love it. Just love it. We never got to the stage of putting art on our walls. We moved in, we went into COVID, we were trying to recover from COVID, and then we went into construction. So let's figure out art and really make our building feel warm and express who we're about. My husband is an artist. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to pass it now to Ariana. She's going to tell art from our children. Oh yeah, from MTU. That could be cool. I love that idea. Ariana, you are going to be walking us through a new a new system of being able to submit ideas for communications or tasks or proposals. I'll let you talk about that. I don't know if you need to share your screen.
Good morning. I can share my screen when I'll demonstrate where to access the ticket. I just want to give a few updates regarding this and give context of where this innovation came from. So currently, for those of you who send requests over to communication, you would know that right now those are sent over via email, but we've worked greatly. I want to give a shout out to Brenda and to Julie and to the communications team in innovating a new way to improve this process, and that is through our communications help desk ticket system. This will ultimately allow for all requests to be sent through a central space, and it would just overall help everyone stay organized and manage timelines more efficiently. So I am going to share my screen, and I'll share just two more updates prior to that, just so you have more context of what to expect moving forward. So all external facing materials, you'll notice that on the form, it will give you an option for internal or external facing materials. So all external facing materials mean if it's going to be widely viewed or accessible to the public or by the public. And all of those materials now require county public information team approval. All this means is that the materials go through a filtration system, an approval system internally, and then we send those off to the county public information team for their approval. And this may add time to the approval process. So we're just asking everyone to submit requests early, just to ensure that your materials make it all the way through and back to you in a timely manner and ensure those get shared out on time. So to help with that, we're asking that requesters plan ahead. Planning ahead will be very helpful during this new phase, as it will be new to all of us. So an example of planning ahead is, for example, for posts that will be planned or scheduled for November, we ask that those be sent in early October. This is for social media posts as an example. Since our team typically sends the public information team a social media calendar about a month in advance. So if we can batch all of those posts at once and send them over, that would just help move the process along smoothly and hopefully give you a faster turnaround time. So let's go ahead and share where you can access this help desk ticket system. It's very similar, and you'll find it right next to where all the other department ticket systems are currently located. They've given us a bigger square for the time being, just so it's more visible to everybody. So you'll go to the Madera County Public Health SharePoint page, scroll down to staff support, and all you will have to do is quickly click on this icon, and it takes you to a form that's very similar to all the others. So whenever you have a chance, you can always go back in and read this to get more information. But it just pretty much covers information that you would have already been sending via email. So now we're asking that everything now be sent through this ticketing system. And lastly, I would just like to say that if a requester is submitting materials that you've personally created, we ask that when you send your attachment over, you'll see that you can attach those materials down here. When possible and when needed, please send over both the English and Spanish version, because sometimes we receive the English version, and then if we can just receive both at once, then we can ensure that both of those materials move along with the approval process together. So this is everything I wanted to share with you all today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I wanted to add that an added benefit to this new ticket system for all of our requesters is that initially our vision was to see how our communications team can expand and provide more services of value to all programs. So by receiving all requests through this ticket system, we will be able to, in the near future, provide analysis reports. And what that will entail of is providing useful insights like trends, the volume and the reach of your materials. So I encourage you all to start using this ticketing system. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team. Thank you.
Thanks, Ariana. I'm going to ask now for Randip to tell us a little bit about the Great American, what is it called? Great Shakeout.
Shakeout. Good morning, everyone. So in emergency preparedness, one of the activities that we have is the Great Shakeout, which is a worldwide earthquake preparedness trial. And as part of that, and we're currently, so from what I understand from the team is that we currently do this in person, but obviously we're teleworking. So the Great Shakeout Day is scheduled for October 16th. at 10:16 a.m. So what we would like for staff to do is, if there was an earthquake or hazard and how to prepare, we're asking staff to take photos of themselves, like hunkering it down under their desks or hiding somewhere, to help kind of bring awareness, you know, what to do if there was an earthquake. So if you can, on October 16th, put it in your calendars at 10:16 a.m. That's the official Great Shakeout Earthquake Preparedness. So if you, and I don't know how you can do it, but if you can, while you're under your desk, take a photo and share it on the public health teams, that would be great. So we really encourage you to be part of it. I know the EPIC team will be, but it's just a great way of just raising awareness again and just being part of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Rindip. We'll go ahead and send out an Outlook. It's not an appointment, but appointment in your calendar to remind you of the time. And you know, if somebody else is in your house, they could take a picture of you, or maybe you put your dog under the desk, you take a picture of the dog. I want to clarify, are we using these photographs on social media or anything like that? Should people be aware if these photographs are going to be used for any communications purpose? Because you said bring awareness, so I just wanted to.
I think it was just to bring awareness to the team, but we can definitely, I can speak to Terence and the team to say if there's a social media campaign that we want to do to align with it, but I will keep everyone posted on that.
Okay, so if you take a photograph of yourself and you're okay with it being used on social media, when you send that photograph, could you indicate to the team that you're good with it being used on social media for awareness purposes? That would be awesome. And Terrence put in the chat, drop, cover, and hold on. I can't fit under any desks, but I will look for a big table. Yes, it doesn't have to be a desk. It could be a sturdy table. That's good too, if you'd rather. Like, I've got stuff stored under my desk, so it wouldn't make a pretty picture. Use your own discretion for what would be safe during an earthquake under something sturdy. Now we're going to pass it over to Brian Preciado. He's going to talk about quality improvement projects.
Morning, everyone.
Folks want to give people a time check because we're at 8:53 and we end at 9.
Awesome. I'll keep it short. Good morning, everyone. As you all may be aware, I am now with accreditation and currently support our vision committee, which encourages staff to engage in performance management and quality improvement initiatives. And so we are really encouraging all our vision committee representatives to engage in quality improvement activities, quality improvement projects specifically. And we have a few projects going on. One of those projects is actually looking at identifying barriers and potential challenges of staff engaging in QI projects and QI activities across the department. And so what we wanted to do is, and I'm putting it right now in the chat, is a link to their survey that they created. We ask if staff have a few minutes to please complete the survey. It is anonymous, and what we're really wanting to do is to hopefully hear from all of you potential challenges and barriers that kind of limit you from meaningfully engaging in QI projects and QI activities. We have a QI project right now team that's really focused on this, and so they would really value your input in kind of those activities, whether you're new to QI and really haven't explored those topics that much, or you've done a few quality improvement initiatives within your department. We're really interested in learning the various spectrum of challenges and barriers that are facing all staff across the department. So we really ask if you can complete the survey. We're setting the deadline the end of next week. So it gives you all a little over a week to complete it. So we really would appreciate if you all can complete that survey.
All right. The link to the survey is in the chat. You can click on it right now and then it'll be in your browser, and
we'll make sure to put it in the
you can, our
chat
safe
as well.
links. Yeah, it'll be in Outlook. So we'll email it out as well. But if you open it now, then you'll have it open. We just wanted to give you a heads up. if you're planning on traveling, the county clerk recorder's office now has the ability to provide passport services. It's by appointment, so you'll want to reach out to the county clerk and schedule an appointment if you need anything for either a new passport or if your passport is expired or you're having an issue with it in some way. We also are wanting to spread the word. So share with friends and family, share with participants, because it is a new service of the county. And a lot of folks are not familiar with the opportunity to be able to do it conveniently right down at the government center. Okay, before we open it up to any further announcements, do you need to be a resident of Madeira? I don't know the answer to that question. But it would be great if you have interest, Dr. Paul. Maybe you could ask them that question and we could share with the rest of the staff. That would be cool. We brainstormed different names for our 2 vans, and we now have a survey. We narrowed that list, and there's a survey for you to be able to oh, look, the screen is sharing. Magical things. What should we name the vans? So chime in on what your thoughts are for the van names. And then at the next all staff, we'll be able to tell you what we have named these babies of ours. Any other announcements from folks?
Yes. Remember, everybody, tomorrow is the last day to purchase your t-shirts. If you guys want to join us for the American Heart Walk, no need to join us either. You could also purchase your t-shirts if you like. Thank you.
So I'm wearing a Madera County shirt that we did during COVID, and it says like vaccinate all kind of thing. And it's nice to have shirts that you can wear on Fridays with your jeans, to be able to like have camaraderie with the department, and a no-brainer outfit is really what I like about it. Is that at any time you could grab that shirt, throw on some jeans, and you're good to go for a Friday in person in the office. It is a blue shirt. If you haven't taken a look at what the design is real nice, clean. So take advantage of that, even if you are not going to participate in the Heart Walk, although it'd be great if you participated in the Heart Walk as well. Any other announcements? Awesome. Our next meeting is October 23rd. Enjoy your October. And if I don't see you before then, see you later.
Thank you.